know how much I'm taking in.
All right, so you're 32, and, oh, I remember. I got sidetracked. So you said you gained some weight. What was your lowest weight ever?
185.
And when was that?
That was back in 2009, the earlier part of 2009.
Earlier part of 2009? And how did you get down to 185?
Oh, it's just my normal exercise and watching what I eat. Yeah.
Okay. And you exercise 4 to 5 times a week for how long?
For all the time. And, I would walk or I'd have elliptical.
No, I mean, do you work out for 30 minutes?
30 minutes, but I have an elliptical, so I'm usually, keep on high intensity. Yeah.
So 30 minutes, all right.
And on the weekends I walk too, or sometimes during the day, sometimes I'll do both.
And how much alcohol do you do socially, though? So, I mean, because I'm trying to figure out where we can help you out in terms of the weight loss.
We're talking maybe one drink or maybe 1 or 2 drinks, nothing major, nothing.
Okay. On the weekends, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of, you said the
CalorieCount.com.
Right. How much calories are you consuming?
Usually it ranges between 12 to, I try most days to go, occasionally there's a day where I go over that, but I usually try to stay between 12 and 1,500, somewhere within that. Actually, when I started logging, because I didn't start actually logging, I was like, I want these off to a C. But at first I wasn't even taking enough calories, and I thought, well, let me try to bump it, because I know, if you lower calories, that can cause problems too. So I was like, okay, let me try to stay within 12 to 1,500, because I do actually work out too. So.
Right. And did you gain weight when you?
I haven't gained, I just haven't lost.
Okay.
My weight has been, let's say this, I've been the same way pretty much since, I guess when I went to the doctor back in January, February, whenever it was. I haven't changed since then, it's just I haven't lost any either, so.
Okay. But some of it could be fluid retention.
Yeah.
Too, right? Okay. So, and what's the heaviest weight you've been?
I've been 300 pounds before.
300?
Yes.
And when was that?
Probably beginning of 2004, or maybe 2003, 2004, somewhere in there.
Okay.
That's the highest I've ever been. I'm trying to get back there.
And how old are the kids?
My oldest is 14, and my youngest is 4.
And did you have diabetes?
I've never had diabetes.
In your pregnancy?
No. If you look at my lab work,
no, I just know your family history, so I just wanted
But I do have the family history for diabetes on both sides of my family. My mom.
But in your pregnancy, you didn't have gestational diabetes?
Never.
Got it. Okay. So, now, you're on Armour Thyroid, and you take all of it in the morning?
Yes.
And nobody's checked your levels on the 120 milligrams?
Not yet, no. I'll go back to them until, I think, next week.
Well, we're going to check it today.
Okay.
And the idea is when do you take that, in the morning or at night?
I take it in the morning.
In the morning. And what, do you take it with the, well, that's only once a week. And that's 50,000, not 5,000, right?
I have it here with me. Just to be sure. Yeah, that's okay. It is 50,000.
Yeah. Okay, good. You put 5,000.
Oh.
And I thought most of the once a week. Then otherwise you aren't hardly getting any. So how many of these have you used up?
I take it once a week. So.
And you've been on it. Let's see. When was it ordered? March. No. Do you take it once a week all the time?
Yes.
Or do they just give you like 3 months supply? Yes.
Yeah.
12 weeks.
Yeah.
And is this your first waiver?
That's my what is that? I think it's the second box. I think that's the second box.
So you've been on it for going on 6 months?
No. This is, I take 1 weekly. One of these weekly. I've been on it since like February, I think.
February of this year?
Yeah. Okay. When I got the day I got my lab results, that's when she put me on it. So yeah, it's probably like February, mid-February, I think, somewhere in there.
So now the Armour Thyroid, you take it in the morning. So you've been on Armour Thyroid again how long?
Since 2007, but I got on it shortly after the birth.
And why did they do that, 2007? Why did they switch you from from Syreeta?
Well, actually, it wasn't, because I think what it was at the time, but at first, after I had my youngest one, I kind of had a time losing weight and kind of was, that started about Armour Thyroid, so I thought, let me try, this guy's option of trying it out. I said, yeah, sure, you can try it out. And I said, it's been working fine, and I lost my weight, after I had my daughter and everything else. I thought I was good, and then like I said, when I moved in 2009, that's when things got out of whack.
But you didn't have any surgeries at that time.
The only surgery I had was like the ovarian cyst removed and my ovaries with it.
Okay. So the question comes is, let's check your levels.
Okay.
And most of the time, I mean, still you're going to have to follow your diet and the exercise. With regards to armor, most of us as endocrinologists hate armor. Okay, it's good for pigs, not humans. Pig thyroid is different than a human thyroid. It has a lot more T3 than T4, and humans thyroid produce mainly T4, which is what Synthroid was. And those are the reasons, you know.
Yeah.
Number two is armor thyroid, because it has more T3 than T4. It doesn't really work 24 hours as well, because what it is it's 3/4 T3, 1/4 T4. T3 only works for 12 hours, basically, and then it starts petering out. So you're living on 1/4 T4, okay? So if you wanted to do armor, you might be better off where you split the dose and take half in the morning.
I have heard people say, I've heard that a lot,
And the reason for that is then by the time your first dose is petering out, you're getting your other cup of coffee left, okay? So a lot of people feel really kind of down and tired. They're
2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
So what you do is you take your second dose, say 2 hours after lunch, because you have to have an empty stomach to take armor. You're taking it on an empty stomach?
Yes, and first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning on an empty stomach with water.
Yes.
And by itself.
Yes.
Okay. So what we want to do is we want to see if we can blame your thyroid for any of your maladies, okay? Because it's just one organ in your body. It is important for the function of each cell of the body, and it's also important for filtering. So if you're not filtering properly and then somebody's giving you torresamide, then I'm not sure if that's, you know, in your best interest, because sometimes these dry out your kidneys more than they really help you out. But if you're still low in thyroid, then we do want to improve that. But being specialists, we're very anal, and because I guess we see all the bad things that happen to people, where other people may have taken care of them and now they've come here as a last resort. So, you know, it's always important to give people an understanding. The thyroid isn't the center of the universe, okay? It's just an organ. And if you're low in thyroid, we want to give back to the body what it's producing. Giving you more is not going to do anything but eventually just give you side effects. So the idea is you know, if we have to negotiate, because, you know, you told me you went up on the pills like that. If you did that to me, I'd be irate. Because it's very hard to then, in a very scientific way, to adjust medicine. But the idea is, no, they weren't putting you on this and making you come 6 months later, right?
It was like 3 months, because they put me on the 60, I'm trying to remember. I remember somewhere I started 60, and then I said, well, I noticed my energy level just hadn't changed, nothing had changed, so that's like, okay, let me take, you know, this and see what, you know, take the...
Well, were you always on armor, or did they switch you to some generic form of armor?
No, it was armor. It was definitely armor. I think I had that one with me, too. I don't think that was the one I'm taking currently. Yeah. Wait, that's the torque thing. Yeah, this is the one I'm taking. That one there. I think I have the 90 in my... I don't take it now, but I just have it in my purse.
Wait now. It says armored thyroid. Hang on. But this is made by Forest. And where's the brand? Hang on. Sometimes you just have to look around here and find it. Oh, here it is, Forest Pharmacy. So it's always important when you get your medicine.
Okay, this is the one I was taking before I went to this here. Because I was supposed to, like, cut it, I think, take one and, or... I think I was supposed to cut it and have to take it, but, I mean, I know when I was doing that. Was
so this is the Forest Pharmacy.
Okay.
Forest Pharmaceuticals, or Pharma, that's the company that makes armor. So you always have to check the manufacturer, because sometimes they can switch you. Okay?
And I was told that some of the people were telling me, said, well, you need to check that out.
I've never seen it this big. Wow.
Because they were saying that there was a reformulation on armor thyroid, I guess, back in 2009. And they said that some people were affected by that, too. So.
Well, they also had a short supply.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that, too. Yeah.
So that's those are some of the logistical problems when you're doing this, because if they got a bad batch of pigs, you're getting a bad batch of hormones. There could have been just some manufacturing things. So the idea is I think armor crumbles when you cut it. Okay?
Yeah, it does.
So let's check your levels today, because we want to know, one, is 120 enough, not enough, or too much? And I don't know the answer to that, because you've had to keep going up on your dose, so I got to take that into consideration. Part of it's also weight dependent, though. So as you're gaining weight, your thyroid hormone requirements keep going up. So we're actually having to keep up with the weight rather than the other way around. And so if you go back to 185, you may require different doses. Okay? But you gain weight pretty quickly.
And see, this is another thing, too, because a lot of people, from what I was reading online and, talking to people online also, they were saying that it could be adrenal issues. Is that a possibility?
It could, but generally those are associated with other things. And it's really easy to just do some screening tests for adrenals with regards to weight gain, but that's also associated with high blood pressure.
And I have that too.
And so the idea is it's not a bad idea to check it, because we may be blaming the thyroid when it's not the thyroid. Now, you don't look like Cushing-weight person. I mean, you gain some weight, but people who have Cushing's and they have adrenal issues where they're producing too much cortisol, they have certain features that you can say from far away, and a lot of people who have real Cushing's, hey, you've got Cushing's. But the subtle ones, the ones that are kind of smoldering, those are the harder ones to pick up, so those are the ones you really just want to screen for. So I think it's a good thought. I think we need to do that. I think you're severely deficient in vitamin D. And,
it was 7. What?
And, you got to make sure you're faithful to that. I think generally when it's that low, though, we actually give it one pill 3 times a week, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to kind of load you up for a week. And then we drop it down to 1 a week. It doesn't matter. It just takes a little longer the way you're doing, but it'll still work. Okay?
And I was even told, could it be a deficiency in any kind of vitamin B or B5 or?
Well, those are harder to measure. But what you want to do is you want to get a B complex that has thiamine, which is B1, okay, and then B12. Those are the 2 main important vitamins. Now we can check your vitamin levels, but for, if it's kind of just within range, let's say in the lower part of range, you don't need injection. You can just use over-the-counter sublingual supplements. And
I've heard about DHEA and all that kind of stuff. What is that?
Well, DHEA, they've done studies on DHEA. It's an adrenal precursor hormone. The only people who actually need DHEA are people who don't have adrenal. And not with people who have too much adrenal production. Okay? And generally those people are wasting away and lose weight, and they can't even get out of bed. Okay? So your DHEA is going to be fine. The thing is we just want to make sure that your ACTH cortisol is okay. They've done studies where women have taken DHEA supplements, but they didn't find anything. They didn't find any improvement. Sometimes it's placebo effect. They think they feel better. But when you look at objective parameters and you do studies where you have women on DHEA, women without DHEA, and you keep them on for a year or whatever, it's a wash in terms of their quality of life, fatigue, how they feel, this and that and the other thing, sexual dysfunction, I mean, you name it. Okay?
And so, and you don't think the ovarian tissue, that could be a factor in it?
I think the question, well, you're not getting hot flashes, night sweats.
You know what, a couple of times I actually have, but I just kind of dismissed them, like, you know what, because, when something happens to you, I'll be 33 May 27th. And there's been a couple of times where I have had hot flashes, and I'm like, this isn't right. I mean, it was a relatively cool day. I mean, usually I'm too cold.
When was it occurring? What part of day?
It was at night. Yeah, and I just woke up like, I'm hot, it's like, this happened like 2 or 3 times at least, and like, this isn't like me to be having this, but I just, I just kind of dismissed it, like, I'm too young for this.
Well, the reason I asked is because also the higher dose of armor may be contributing to that.
Really?
Okay? So, but we're going to check that for you. So let's check your thyroid function test. I got to make some notes real quick. So the ACTH cortisol to address the issues with the the weight gain and the swelling I'm concerned about.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of, and see, the mainly concerned about the swelling. My mom's had swelling so bad where she's had like weeping, you know, and I don't never want to get to that point.
She's got issues.
Yeah, she had congenital heart. Yeah, she had congenital heart. Yeah.
Okay, and then let's check your FSH. When was your last cycle though?
The first week of April.
Okay. So you're almost due then.
Yeah.
Are they regular, your cycles?
Yeah, actually they are. Like I said, the vitamin D has definitely helped the cycles. I can definitely tell that because before, Lord, I mean, I take like when PMS, you know, I had the PMS and like the week of, I mean, I could, before I started vitamin D, I was just almost not even functional. But now I can tell I definitely have the energy, you know, all that stuff, because I've been taking it. That's definitely.
Are you almost out of it because that box is empty?
Yeah, I'm almost. I got to order. I think there's one more in here. Oh no, I did. I took the last one yesterday, so yeah, I didn't even order some more yesterday.
So you took the last one yesterday, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, when you're actually taking it, that means you've done 12 already. Correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So generally you check people's levels.
And I'm going back to my doctor on the 10th, so that's like next week, I think. So yeah, it's time for me to.
Is that also your T3? You took your Armour this morning?
You know what? I didn't take it this morning. I just told that they said that you should take it the day of, that way that I guess this is.
Oh, we'll check.
Okay.
I don't tell people not to take it because then, you know, like you're going the whole day without it because you don't know when your appointment is. So let's do that, and then if you want, I can, because
our vitamin screening, were you saying?
No, I was thinking of actually checking your vitamin D too because I'm kind of interested in that.
Okay.
I think right now it'll be okay, but I think you still need more.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the problem. People don't keep it up.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, I'd rather check that.
Okay.
Okay? But I will send this to your doctor as well. Because I think you probably need to be on another cycle of the D. But I'll check and let you know with regards to that.
What's usually the turnaround time on the last word?
Well, it's a Tuesday. Vitamin D is the one that's going to hold it up probably the longest. So we'll probably see it, I might see it by Friday. If not, it'll take until Monday because the vitamin D will hold it up. Okay. Vitamin D?
Well, I guess, because yours will be back quicker than you send yours to them, right?
I will send them the result. I will send them everything I have, all your results.
Okay.
And what my recommendations are, all that.
I guess we could do it here. I mean, because we do it here. I want to do it again on the 10th, right? Because now, then, yeah, I guess just do it here.
Well, it's just, I'm thinking of the number of sticks you're going to get.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We stick you, then they stick you. So let's just stick you, and I wanted to check your LH, FSH, because you're...
What is that?
Those are your ovarian female hormones. So we can see if you're doing okay. You're going to get into hot flashes. And
I really heard the thing about the hairs on the chin. I'm like, I was like, I don't know. Because I'm like I thought, I do makeup artist also along my office job. And I was, because I'll be looking, doing my makeup, I'm like, what is this right here? Like I told her, I was pretty anal about plucking them out. But, I've had some get like curly cues literally on my chin before. I'm like, I don't know what that's about. I mean, if it were allowed, I'm scared I might have a beard under here, but I'll plug it.
Well, that's what a little old lady gets the beard because we kind of lose our estrogens and all. Really? When was the last time you ate?
I ate probably just a couple hours ago.
Okay. Yeah. If you come fasting on a visit, like in the future, we'll check your insulin.
Okay. And that's what they'll probably check when I go back on the 10th, I'm sure.
What?
My insulin, the blood sugar. I think well, you know what? My appointment's in the afternoon. I need to ask them about that because
you have to generally do those fasting. We don't make people fast that long.
But luckily I don't think I've ever had a high blood sugar. I've even had people like,
No, it's not so much a high blood sugar, it's a high insulin level.
Oh, okay.
Because that shows, did they ever say you had polycystic ovaries?
No, they didn't. But I don't know if this is because I had my surgery in 2007, and then I just was looked at. They found out this was last year, so that's been, you're talking about a 4-year.
Okay.
So.
And we could check your testosterone.
Really?
And see how it is. Are you on a birth control pill now?
No, because the thing was, I was having, I don't know, it's only that The symptoms, I mean, I was on it for long enough to know, you know, for it to kick in and work, but I was just having too many side effects when I was taking the pills. So I'm not really sexually active or anything like that. So I stopped taking it because I was having too many. So I was getting nauseous like crazy, and just my mood, the mood swings with it were worse. So I'm like, no, I can't do this.
Well, let's check it for you and try to, let's do a hormone evaluation. Okay? But no breast discharge, anything like that?
No, nothing, no.
Okay. Well, let me know.
No, not.
All right.
Just trying to think, is there anything else while I'm here? Because I won't be back. I'm trying to think. But once I did tell her about the painful ovulation, like I told her, I can always tell I'm ovulating. I always know. Because I just, you know, don't last for like a day or maybe a day and a half, but I can always tell I'm ovulating.
But your cycles are pretty regular, correct?
Yeah, regular, because the vitamin D, that's helped as far as the flow and the mood swings, that helps it with that dramatically. And that's helped quite a bit. It was like day and night, like, you know, I don't feel like I usually would feel about this time, so I could tell there was definitely, I just had no idea I was so low like that.
It's very common, actually. Okay. So let's check this. And then we'll email it to you and we'll let you know if, so you prefer to just take the whole thyroid just once a day?
Well, see, that's the one thing, that's all I ever knew. And then I started reading online about people taking it twice a day, but I never had a medical professional to advise that before. So I was like, well, maybe which I actually go to the doctor, but I've always taken it once.
Well, the thing is if it's hard for you to remember to do it that way, just go ahead and take all of it in the one. But what we generally do, and I'm going to wait till I see your lab results, because if 120, it's really hard with Armory because the dose jumps are too much. It's not like with Synthroid, you know, the increments are very, very small, and you can really fine-tune people. With this one, like you're working with different tablets, and it's like a mess. But like if you're on a set dose where your levels is say 120, then all you need is 60 milligram pill, and you can take one in the morning, one at around say 2 o'clock in the late afternoon if you eat at 12. Okay, because it has to be 2 hours after you eat.
Okay.
Because food interferes with the absorption of thyroid hormone, just like supplements, just like other pills. That's why it's taken specifically on an empty stomach with water, away from all.
Yeah, because I can definitely tell when I'm at work at 2 or 3 o'clock, I'm like, is all I can do is keep my eyes open, you know, and usually, you know, because
well, the other dose you have is 60, right?
The other one was a 90. That's what I was taking before I took the.
So what you could do, 90 plus a half. Well, what you could do to use those up is you could do a 90 in the morning and then do half of the 90. That'll still get you a little too much because they're 90 milligrams, so you're taking 45 milligrams. But it's one way to use it up. It's not like you're going to be on that long term. But it'll at least let you know if you feel better when you split up the dose. Because sometimes I find you're getting too much thyroid hormone from listening to you. And I'm not sure at night though, because at night probably that's when you're kind of at calm and at peace. And if you're getting the hot flashes, I want to know, is it from too much thyroid? Or is it more just your ovaries are going through some changes? Or your ovary, because you only have one, okay? And you may not be anywhere close to perimenopause, but sometimes it's associated with the...
Yeah, because my mom, she had her hysterectomy when she was like only 36. Yeah, I'm 30, you know, I'll be 33.
Well, we don't want that. Come on over here, let's check it out.
That's what she knows. She noticed that too. She knows it was enlarged, but
Did they ever do an ultrasound?
No, they just know, she did say that it feels like it's enlarged.
Who is she?
That, she's one of the doctors at Dr. Gray's office.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's really firm. Do you know if they ever checked her thyroid antibodies?
No, I know for a fact they never checked that. Because I don't think they even tested my free T3 guys. They did the T3 uptake and they did.
Before you leave, let's do a sono.
Okay.
Just a quick look. I will do a quick look.
Yeah.
It all looks okay. We don't need to do a full one.
Okay.
But if it's like something that where you need an ultrasound, I'll do try to do a full ultrasound. That should come from far away. So hang on. But in the meantime, I'll get the girls to do the blood work. So if we make recommendations, will you just go back to your other doctor and follow up with him?
I want to come down here and take the same amount of drugs. Doctors know well times that's not because I'm sure they said it was fine. I don't know what, fine is for them.
Well, what you should do is, when you get prescriptions, you just get her antibiotics.
30 days.
Just so you know.
Okay.
Did you give us your But we are checking yours.
Okay.
So wait till you see the results. But because you have so many people with thyroid, she may have Hashimoto's.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Your gland looks like you have Hashimoto's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one side's a little bigger, so I figured let me measure it. So like 5 years from now, at least you have a baseline. Okay. Like my daughter, her antibodies are positive, but she's got normal thyroid tests. Now, if I just done the thyroid test, I wouldn't have known about that. So you got to actually check for the antibodies. Well,
I've never had it. I mean, I've heard of it, but they've never thought to run it on me. But I guess I was one of the primary care physicians, so I don't know if that's of course.
No pain when I was pressing over your thyroid with the probe, was there?
A little bit.
A little bit of pressure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have any problems swallowing?
Usually if I do, it's going to be in the morning.
Okay. Hang on, I got to get some, I've been using, this room has been very busy.
Oh, hang on.
Amanda, I need tissue box. Sure, yeah. So, but when you swallow your pills, they're not getting stuck in your throat or anything.
Sometimes it does happen. It just, yeah.
Do you get allergies? Do you have allergies?
Seasonal.
Okay. Do you find it's worse when your allergies are bad, the swallowing issues?
I never really connected the two, but it could be.
All right. So,
I'm supposed in the morning, but when I take my pills too, though. So.
Hang on.
But sometimes, I have had times where, sometimes it usually depends on what I mean. Sometimes, it's not going down, all the way, and then I'll just, follow through more water, and I'm okay. But I've just never connected it with anything.
Does it just feel like something stuck in your
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, that's probably because of your Hashimoto's.
Okay.
People have that sensation all the time.
Okay.
Your left lobe, which is this one, this kind of sausage-shaped looking thing here, that's your left thyroid lobe. That is not what a normal lobe looks like.
Okay.
Okay, that is a Hashimoto's.
Oh, okay.
So I'd be interested, even if your antibodies came back negative, it's still Hashimoto's.
Yeah.
That's why the ultrasound sometimes is very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me show you the rest of your gland, because your left lobe is not bad, but your other lobe. This here is your right thyroid lobe, and it's big. Okay?
Yeah, it's completely different from the other.
Yeah, well, I'll show you. That's a different view. That's your carotid artery in the right. And you've got what's called nodular hyperplasia in here. You can see like this kind of, that's not a true lump in your thyroid, you know, like how you have the cyst in your ovaries and all that. Well, people can get lumps and bumps in their thyroid too. But this isn't, I'm going to watch it, but I think that's just part of the process of Hashimoto's.
Okay.
So it's not something I need to biopsy, or I tell you, believe me. So, but this whole coarse texture, like these dark areas and these white areas, kind of like patchy, that is typical of what you see. Otherwise, this whole lobe should look exactly identical. Okay, but it doesn't, and that's because of the inflammation and scarring in the thyroid, okay? Blood flow-wise, it's okay. Okay, that's part of your carotid and your jugular vein on the right side. Lengthwise, it was actually kind of long, so I had to do a split screen to fit it, okay? So it's your bigger lobe, okay? It's about 5.5 centimeters long. And again, you see these dark areas and these brighter areas. You can see them better here. That's not a normal thyroid, okay? So that's what Hashimoto's looks like. And so that was your right lobe. This is the isthmus. Isthmus connects your right lobe with your left lobe, okay? And it's not too bad. It's just kind of high normal, but not too bad. Now over here is your left lobe. And that's your esophagus. So that's your food pipe. And if this was bigger, sometimes you'd notice more of the swallowing issues. But luckily, this is your smaller lobe. And you can appreciate this is kind of more discreet, not as hazy compared to this side. See how big this one is? It's almost like a square. And this is not quite as big, okay? And blood-wise, not bad. That's your left carotid artery in the side. See, this one I could fit in one screen. I didn't have to extend my screen to fit it. So that is what it looks like. I'm glad we did it, actually.
I've read it in before.
And so what we're going to do is when we get your blood test back, we're going to email it, and when I do a report of that, I'll send that to Dr. Craig as well. Okay? So hang on.
So how does that usually treated?
Well, it's more to, I wanted to make sure, because when I actually felt your gland, I thought it was really big. Can I borrow your sheet in here? Yeah. So, and I wanted to make sure that you didn't have lumps or bumps in there that need to be rested, because I remember what you talked about your ovarian cyst and all that. But you don't. But I'm going to watch it, and maybe in about a year or two we'll do another sonogram just to see how it changes. Okay? And we want to put that in the context also of your swallowing. Okay? So it's sometimes like you are having more and more difficulty swallowing, and sometimes thyroid can grow, okay? But the idea is if I don't know what size it is, how do I know it's growing? You know, I mean, I can't feel, I feel so many thyroids every day. So the idea is to have some measures that you can go by.
I've never had any of that. I've read about it, that's never.
And the other thing is I wanted to make sure you didn't have lumps, because when I felt it's very hard, firm kind of gland. And generally the firm type are in Hashimoto's, but I also, because it felt very irregular, and it looks irregular there, but you don't have any true nodules, so I don't have to biopsy anything. And that's the other thing, you know, you've come a long way. If I didn't do that, I would not be good. All right, so I put here 2 to 3 months, okay? And then these results we'll email to you. We put the explanations at the bottom. You may also get an invitation to go online to look at your labs online, but we send a separate one email where the explanations are there. In all the patient portals, you can't really put the explanations in, at least not the one we have.
So look at that, do you think the numbers will reflect what's seen here, or do you?
I think the antibodies would be positive. I mean, that's not a little bit of Hashimoto's, that's quite a bit. Okay?
So is it reasonable to think that could be called, is it reasonable to relate that to the weight also, or what?
The weight is a separate issue, okay? I mean, that's why we're seeing diabetes in children now, because it's a lifestyle. You know, you're working on, you have so much on your plate you didn't have a few years ago. And we're aging, and your ovaries are aging, and you're missing an ovary. And women who go through just even a natural menopause, they'll gain about 30 pounds. Well, anywhere from 10 to 30. And there's a shift of weight, so you start noticing more weight around the center, too. And those are kind of age-related changes of the ovaries, not so much the thyroid. It doesn't mean we shouldn't do right by you and take care of the thyroid. But with the ovaries, it's tricky because they try to put you in stuff to kind of shut them down. And that's really what they were doing to prevent the cysts from getting bigger. They were putting you on a hormone where the pill was doing everything and your ovaries didn't have to do anything. So it shuts them down. And that way, if you have like lumps or bumps, they try to shrink them down because there's no stimulation at your ovaries to cause them to grow. So that's how a lot of women get put on Lupron and birth control pills and all these kind of hormones because sometimes they have fibroids.
So would you advise I need to get that follow-up sonogram on that also? Because that's what they did when I had about this time last year.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm checking your hormone levels.
Okay.
Just to see, is your estrogen level still good and all that? If your estrogen is low and your female hormones are getting high, and I don't think they will be, but if I don't check, I won't know. I can't tell you. You know, I can't kind of lay a finger on your head and say, oh, you have this and you don't have this. But it'll at least give us some measure that you're not really going to menopause. Okay? And are some of the symptoms you're getting, are they getting worse by too much thyroid hormone? Because that's the problem. To try to kind of dissect and make the picture less confusing for you because you may be blaming it on one thing, but in reality it could be something else. So we want you to have good health. And bombarding you with thyroid hormone in the hope that you'll get weight off is not going to be the answer. The answer will be watching the salt even more. They should actually change your diuretic. You know, they should put you on a different diuretic where it's something you could take more regularly. You know, to take it when you get the fluid accumulation.
I take it daily. Yeah, I do take it daily.
And is it for your blood pressure too, though?
Yeah.
So there's better blood pressure medicine where they can put you on like something like Maxide, or there's another one called chlorothalidone which you take every day. So it helps with the fluid retention, but it also helps with blood pressure. And the idea with this one, kind of 2-3 pills a day. Tell you, if you were my patient, I would be swapping everything because you're going to end up getting into trouble drying out your kidneys because the diuretic they have you on, it can make your kidney test go really high. Okay? So you want to be careful. You know, no, nobody wants you to have swelling. But do it in a way where people can guide you. And maybe if you say, well, it's not working, can we try something else? That's the way to do it. Okay? And, you know, we can, and I don't know, maybe these doctors did try you on those, I just don't know. But
and I brought it to their attention before. I said, I have a lot of edema. Because, I felt a little worried because, like, my mom's had it before, and she's had it to the point where, like, it was a weeping. It's open, I'm not trying to get anywhere close to that. But, they kind of like, this is like, it's like, well, you don't drink more water. I said, well, it's better if you're drinking water. And it's, it's like,
no, but your mom's problem is different because hers is, she cannot hold on to the water, and because of kidneys and low albumin and the diabetes, and so it's seeping up. No matter what you do, it's going to keep seeping up. So they have to kind of dry her out a lot so she can have less weeping of the stuff. But that then puts her kidneys out even more when they do that. Okay. But ask your doctors about chlorothalidone or Maxide to help with the fluid retention.
Includes my visit today with first time with the endocrinologist. It was like I felt like it was a very thorough visit from what I could see. She's also testing my thyroid antibody, which I never had that test done. I never even heard that test mentioned of it amongst any of the doctors I've been to before. So I feel really great about that. She also did an ultrasound on my thyroid. There was a nodule that was found on my right side, if I'm understanding that correctly. If it had been more than one nodule, she said she would have done a biopsy, but she's definitely going to keep an eye on this one. She feels pretty confident that I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which basically is where my antibodies are attacking my thyroid. So that's where I'm at right now. I'll be awaiting the results of my lab work, because she did pretty intensive lab work. So I'll be awaiting that to come back also within the next few days. I should have it hopefully by Monday at the latest. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm just waiting the results to come back and see where to go from here. Okay?